Welcome everyone. The topic for the day is business process reengineering and organizational performances. So we will see how does it impact the overall performance of an organization if we incorporate any process reengineering in an industry. Here is the lesson that we have learned from large systems as an implementation. In all probability, say 80% more attention is spent on the process optimizations, 65% on alignments of the company goals, 60% on the it pays attention to understand a particular arena or subject area absolutely 55% of the time, implementation of MIS as a part of a scope, and we can have n numbers of benefit in terms of outsourcing of the project management, increase investment in training, greater employees involvement or empowering them, enforcing changes more courageously, taking more risk, thereby identifying and capturing the proof of benefits and saving as a part of a scope, and definitely avoiding big bag implementation thereby. So these are the lessons that we have learned in our past. So let us understand the key drivers for business process management. The major things, every organization would love to save money, implement large software systems, ahead of the compliance as far as the regulatory body is concerned, and move faster through scenario building in terms of what if analysis for agility and policy management. Now, how do we go about for saving money? It's basically we are developing better, newer, faster, quicker processes all together. So basically, we are reducing the lag time. That is what we are looking into it. Then know what you are doing, the right or the wrong thing through the current process understanding. Get control of the parallel process by consolidating the core processes. This is what we are looking into it, and probably having run simultaneously a number of processes accordingly. Get non-value added work through automation or manual processes. Probably uh, we are getting rid of the human errors for the absolutely regular work, absolutely redundant work, absolutely work that doesn't add any value at all. And that is what we are talking about is the business process outsourcing. The last but not the least, the whole idea is to optimize the process and save the money, is that's the whole idea. So basically we are again letting you know about in terms of the key business driver as to saving money and having a larger software system ahead of the compliances, and definitely what if analysis, probably scenario building, looking into it. So benefit of business process management, first and foremost thing, it reduces process cost. Definitely yes. It improves the quality. It reduces the throughput times. Probably the cycle time has been reduced drastically. Obviously, training expenses gets bogged down, the internal support requested, the grievances gets bogged down, it gets reduced dramatically. There is a less number of complaints from the customer ends, and we are able to have a better control over things, over the operation of the company, that is increasing the forecast accuracy. So real time benefit from BPA, business process management, intangible benefits also in terms of better information quality that we look forward to. So how do organization improve? One of the major things that goes around it right at the top. It is right at the top. Major changes should initiate it. Ultimately, it leads to everybody in the organization, everyone in the organization that comes around it. Effective change, remember, requires goals, knowledge of a current process. That is what we are looking into it. And change is one thing which is not incremental, which is not marginal, which is not for a time being. It is a continuous process, it is an ever growing process. We do not put a stop at any point of time. Change happens on a continuous basis. Change will not be retained without the effort or periodic reinforcement by the top management. Did I say about the top management? Major changes comes from the top, and it is continuous improvement. Changes. So why business process management? Number one, symptoms of poor business process and design. That is the reason if what comes with it. As far as why do we improvise upon the business process management, there are no standards of process management for addressing how to define the business that we are in, how to improvise on the business processes that we are in. When automation of the process is commissioned, business says that they do not always get what they ask for it. So that is what you do not reach those objectives which you have decided upon it. The process is used to document and communicate businesses. Remember, that is the reason why business process management are in place. And basically, business programs frequently exist in a culture of reacting to cross-functional problem, to the cross-functional emergency. That is all if we looking into it. Remember, information technology can maintain the business process flow, business requirements and business rule. They can document it all together, and this becomes very impartial, very relevant when you have a retrospection effect that happens upon it. So it helps to have a business process in place. So business process management design, what are the common problem? Number one is it does not does not record the data as on when on required. It is not an integrative process within the domain of the business. Techniques that are used are profoundly random and not uniform. It has never been applied on a uniform basis. Obviously, yes, key stakeholders cannot be differentiated as on when on basis based on the views, based on the different key sets. We are working without common knowledge across business, IT, and other partner vendors that comes around it. This is what we are looking into it. Inadequate root cause level business process analysis yields inadequate business requirement and rules to facilitate process optimization and automation that is coming across. That is what we are looking absolutely. So business model. Look, this is a problem. This is the problem that we speak around it. You are having problems in terms of integration, in terms of technique, in terms of capturing the data, business domain, key stakeholder, the common lingo, the technical lingo, the common language, the business process analysis. Everything is a problem as for business modeling. If we can iron out these issues or one of these issues one at a time, probably we are in the process of business process concern. So finding the right project is the key characteristics. What is that we looking into it? Number one, what is my key business what we are in? So you need to understand what is the key business that the organization in is all about it, and how do you get it? You can get it through a customer input. Definitely the customer will give you the nerve of the organization. So management has to assign this project on a high priority. Process owners and key stakeholders are clearly defined as who have been impacted. The problem is stated as a target or not as a solution. Remember, this is what we are looking into it. The sponsor of the project can commit time and resources to the project. That means there has to be dedication from the clients and all together. The business process will not change by any other initiative in the near futures, obviously. So which process is most critical and which process contributes the maximum, which is most critical? Remember, the most critical or most vital, and which is the process which gives the most revenue altogether, the most profit altogether. So that is what we are looking into it. Ensure the benefits of improvement of either of these two projects do not degrade over a period. So CSF, critical success factors, are linked to business strategies and goals. Definitely yes. We are always for business process management. We are always to be goal centric or objective oriented. Linked to customer values, yes, customers are the focus of any business entity. Ability to implement incremental value added changes, to track those results, to track those changes and measure the successes. Ability to align with the business is what we are looking into it. So have those critical success factors. So successful business process analysis, design and implementation projects have is to understand the business architecture in terms of business process, metrics, strategies and goals that we are going around. Engage stakeholders and define process ownership. This is what is very important. Engaging those stakeholders, making them partner in the process to understand what is the process all about it. Take an iterative and incremental approach. what is that means? It means time based approach. Everything needs to be time based, and you need to control over have a complete control over it. Tackle one project or right project at the right time, or should I say one project at a time. Implement both internal and external standards at the right level of the governance, the compliance issue that comes around it. Absolutely everything goes hand in hand. Remember, business process analysis is very vital. Understand the role of information, incorporate the process improvement, achieve business result with a series of small successes that do not, I recollect, do not ignore organizational change. The failure to manage human sides of business change is a major contributor to the recent program. The project and the initiative fails if you ignore the organizational change. If you do not manage the human side of the business, this is going to fail or miserably. Organization may not have the experience of the necessary changes, thereby the speed, the complexity of a large scale of change. So you need to mitigate. You cannot have a bigger head and smaller body, right? Or you cannot have a very smaller head and over a bigger body. So which is normal. I suppose this one is normal rather than this. So please understand what you are looking at it. You have to manage the capacity of the organization and the complexity when you are incorporating the changes. The changes cannot be too radical. If it is so, it is destined to fail. Managers are all too frequently concerned with tactical and operational issues and have hardly any considerations for organization itself. So we please avoid having a large head over a minuscule body. Uh, a small changes. This is what we are changing. A small changes, a small head on a large body is quite manageable. So process analysis within the organization, what we are talking about is of the process driven integration, which is basically service based, and the reduction in your cost, a reduction in your expenses, reduction in your development. New business initiative is all about being vibrant, agile growth of NPD or new product development and service. Increase delivery channels that we're talking about it. Have your delivery partners involved into it. Have avenues, enhance those market arenas altogether, and so on and so forth. This is what we are looking at it. So process improvement is another one thing which might be optimizing your business processes straight through processing time. IT regeneration is enterprise IT architectures aligning more with the business, and the legacy replacement. This is what information technology regeneration is all about. It being custom, being the organizational focus, and believe me, all organizations varies from another organization per se. So that is what we are looking into it. And last but not least is extending the enterprise. When we say extending, we are talking about partnering with the vendors and so on and so forth. So B2B, a business to business partnering that comes around it. So please need to have such kind of expertise, have delegation, have partnering, have joint ventures, have franchisee to expand your business. So intelligence use of business process management is prioritizing the intelligent cuts. Yes, what are the intelligent cuts? Is with the help of a good process measurement system. You need to understand when it is prudent to manufacture things at your own premises, and when you can outsource it completely to our vendors altogether. So you need to understand a good process measurement system. Process optimization is can be quickly examining the process and suggest change to eliminate waste. Remember, a good business process management can almost cut the cost and improve productivity. That actually saves anything in around to 10 to 30%. That is approximately one third of the existing expenses, or probably the profitability. The expenses can be reduced and the profit can be improved approximately 10 to 30%. That we're talking about one third that we are mentioning. So intelligent use of business process management is the call of the day, is the requirement that we need to follow. We should always talk about reorganization. Changing in the status also require the new process and business values that needs to be executed by the organization. Remember to launch new products every now and then. Launch, if it is not new product, a variation to the product that needs to be taken. Keep the audience hooked up to your product line. Keep the audience engaged. when I say audience, it is actually the customers that we are talking around it. Additional regulation is the new regulation required by the new practice pictograph that we said earlier. It is the common body of knowledge that comes around it in terms of core business products. Allow me to discuss it one by one in the subsequent slides, right? So first is the knowledge area. What we are looking at into it, we are looking at a key definition of the business process. Remember, we are looking at the complete end-to-end process, complete overhauling of the process that we are looking into, studying it in very in-depth, in detail. We need to understand the customer valuation that has been there, the nature of cross-functional work that we aspire to do around it. There are certain cross-functional work which reduces a lot of procedures and documentation and duplication which are usually being done. The process types that we are talking about it, yes, the process components, the business process management life cycle, everything has a life cycle which goes upon. After the initial stage it grows and then it maturizes and it declines. If you don't stop the decline, it will not grow into the next slide, and this is what we go around it, right? So this business process life cycle has to be there, the critical skills and the success factors mentioned around it. Let us come to the process modeling part of it. What does it means? It means the skills and the processes which enables the persons to, or the employees to understand, communicate, measure probably the different components of the business that comes around it. It is the skill and activities and understanding of the purposes, the benefit of the process modeling, the discussion of the types and the use of process model tools and techniques, the modeling standard talking around it. Yes, process analysis, the third part, is basically about the effectiveness and efficiency of the business process. What does it covers around it? Everything on the process analysis part of it. What everything? It is the activities that we're talking about it. We are basically decomposing the process component and attributes altogether, breaking it down in a different definitive fashion to analyze those techniques and process use of the process model and other process documentation to validate and understand both current and future state process analysis types tools techniques needs to be very clear out here. Remember, intentional and thoughtful planning of how business process functions are measured is governed and managed. That is what we are looking into it. It is all about the process design that we are designing. It's the guidelines for how the work should, needs to be done. What are the rules that needs to be followed? The technology platform, the data sources, the financial and the operational controls. How do we go around it? Please, please, please dedicate the role for the process design, the techniques and the principles of the good design, the common process design pattern that comes up apart from it, the compliance, the executive leadership and the strategic alignment that is there in a throughput areas, that is for you to understand. As far the process design is concerned, the process design can be overhauled, can be regulated, can be improved over a period of time, and this is one thing which keeps on happening on a regular. We are looking into the process transformational areas time and again. As far as this is concerned, which covers the process improvement, the redesigning and the re-engineering methodology. This is the process transformation. Remember, this is what we are looking into it. The associated work during the implementation or the execution of the process, the organization change management methodology, the technique and the best practices that needs to be covered in process transformation. So this is what we are looking. The seven steps would be giving the roles, the responsibility, or probably assigning a person to every of the activities that is associated. So that is what process organization is all about it. But what defines the process altogether? Cultural consideration, cross-functional team-based performances, business governance, the governance structure, the center of excellence or expertise, COE, that we keep on saying about it. So this is what we need to go around it. This is where the manpower will come into place altogether. This what will be coming up across and stated and again. So driven by the need to expertise, what we look into it, we are saying about the business processes, process portfolio management ensures that the process portfolio supports the corporate or the top management altogether. Essentially is the tools and methods to assess Process management on a maturity level, definitely yes. Required business process management practices which can improvise on the business process management organization state, the framework thereof, the integration process with the various process other and the verticals, models which ties up performances, goal, technology, people, control, process architectures, and enterprise process management are we are looking into it. We come to the very last step. Basically, we are looking at automation in this particular stage altogether. This is what we comes across. So wide range of technologies are available nowadays to support planning, designing, analysis thereby, which needs to be done. Business process management needs to be standardized. Emerging trends has to be adopted. It's a set of application packages, again, completely dedicated to the organization, and each organization remains as vibrant and as different from the other one. So this application packages has to be for their organization. With this, I come to an end of this presentation. Thank you for watching this video.